The week before my brother's wedding, I opened my email expecting travel details. Instead, I found a document titled, 5 Conditions for Your Attendance. Rule 1. Apologize publicly for creating family tension. Rule 2. Wear the dress is fiancé approved. Rule 3. Hand over the wedding gift before the ceremony. Rule 4. Don't speak unless spoken to. Rule 5. Remember that this day isn't about you. At the bottom, my brother had written, complete these, and maybe you'll deserve to stand beside us. I laughed, closed my laptop, booked a flight to Bali, and mailed one final gift. My name is Olivia Brooks. I'm 33 years old, and the most expensive email I've ever received didn't ask me for money. It asked me to earn the right to attend my own brother's wedding. Growing up, Ethan was always the golden child. If he won second place, Mom called it extraordinary. If I graduated at the top of my class, Dad smiled and said, "That's what we expected from you." I learned early that Ethan was celebrated. I was dependable. When he got engaged to his fiancée, Chloe, everyone assumed I would help. And I did. I designed their wedding invitations after work. I negotiated a discount with a local florist through a business client. I even quietly paid the remaining balance for the live string quartet after Ethan admitted the budget had gone over.
No one asked me to.
I wanted my little brother to have a beautiful wedding. At least, I thought we were still that kind of family. 7 days before the ceremony, an email arrived with the subject line, "Wedding attendance requirements." I honestly laughed before opening it. Inside was a neatly formatted document titled, 5 Conditions for Your Attendance. Rule 1. You will apologize to the family during the rehearsal dinner for creating unnecessary tension over past disagreements. Rule 2. You will wear the dress Chloe selected to maintain the wedding aesthetic. Rule 3. You will deliver your wedding gift before the ceremony begins. Rule 4. Please avoid discussing family finances or personal opinions with guests. Rule 5. Remember this day is about us. Speak only if you're invited to during formal events. At the bottom was one final sentence. Complete these conditions, and maybe you'll deserve to stand beside us on our special day. I read it twice. Not because I was confused, because I couldn't believe my own brother had written it. 10 minutes later, Mom called. "I hope you understand," she said gently. "Understand what?" "Ethan and Chloe just want a peaceful wedding. So, humiliating me creates peace?" "Oh, sweetheart, don't make this bigger than it is." Dad took the phone next. "Just do what they're asking. It's one day." I looked around my apartment. On the dining table sat the wrapped wedding gift I'd spent weeks choosing. For a moment, I imagined attending anyway, smiling for photographs, pretending none of this mattered. Then I realized something. An invitation with conditions isn't really an invitation. It's a test of obedience. I opened my laptop again. Instead of arguing, I typed a single sentence. "I sincerely hope your wedding is everything you've dreamed of." Then I canceled my hotel reservation, booked a flight to Bali leaving 2 days before the ceremony, and arranged for one final gift to be delivered to the reception. The delivery confirmation showed only one line. Scheduled arrival. Wedding day, 2:15 p.m. By the time my brother's wedding ceremony began, I was sitting on a quiet beach in Bali with my shoes off and my phone on silent. For the first time in weeks, I felt completely at peace. The ocean didn't care about family politics. The waves didn't ask me to apologize for things I hadn't done. I ordered fresh coffee, opened the novel I'd packed for the trip, and promised myself I wouldn't spend the day wondering what was happening back home. That promise lasted until my phone vibrated. The first message came from my cousin, Sarah. "You're not here. Everyone keeps asking where you are." A few minutes later came another. "Your package just arrived. Ethan says he'll open it during the reception with the other gifts." I smiled. Exactly as planned. Hours later, another notification appeared. Sarah had sent several photos from the reception. The ballroom looked beautiful. The flowers I'd helped arrange. The musicians I'd helped pay for. The decorations I'd spent evenings designing. I genuinely hoped they enjoyed every moment. Then another message appeared. "They're opening gifts now. Yours is next." I imagined Ethan standing beside Chloe while guests gathered around. My package wasn't the biggest. It wasn't the most expensive. Just a simple walnut box tied with a navy ribbon. Inside was a handwritten letter. No accusations. No insults. No public embarrassment. Only the truth. Sarah later told me that Chloe untied the ribbon and handed the letter to Ethan. He began reading aloud. Dear Ethan, congratulations on your wedding day. Despite everything that's happened, I truly hope today becomes one of the happiest memories of your life. The room stayed quiet. Growing up, you were my first best friend. We built tree houses, raced bicycles, and promised we'd always have each other's backs. Those memories deserve gratitude, not bitterness. Sarah texted that Ethan had stopped smiling. He kept reading. When I received 5 conditions instead of a welcome, I realized attending your wedding would require sacrificing something far more important than my presence, my self-respect. No one interrupted. Love shouldn't require humiliation. Respect shouldn't come with conditions. So rather than argue, I chose peace. Beneath the letter was a cashier's check. It reimbursed every wedding expense I had quietly volunteered to cover during the previous months. On the memo line were 7 simple words. Every gift deserves to be freely given. Sarah told me the ballroom became completely silent. Guests slowly looked from the check to my parents, then back to Ethan. For the first time, everyone understood that I hadn't skipped the wedding out of anger. I'd walked away because respect had been replaced by control. My phone began vibrating nonstop. Mom called. Dad called. Then Ethan. I let every call go to voicemail. Just after sunset, while I watched the sky turn orange over the water, a voicemail notification appeared. It was from Ethan. His voice sounded nothing like the confident brother who had sent me those 5 conditions. I didn't listen to Ethan's voicemail until the following morning. The sun was rising over the water, and Bali was just beginning to wake up. I sat on the balcony with a cup of coffee and pressed play. For several seconds, there was only silence. Then Ethan spoke. Olivia, I don't know where to start. His voice was quiet, uncertain. I read your letter 3 times after everyone left. He took a slow breath. I thought I was protecting my wedding from drama. Another pause. I didn't realize I had become the one creating it. I stared out at the ocean without saying a word. I kept telling myself those 5 conditions weren't a big deal, he continued. But hearing your letter read out loud, hearing my own words reflected back at me, I finally understood how humiliating they sounded. When the voicemail ended, I didn't call him back. Not yet. Some conversations deserve time instead of quick emotions. 3 months later, after I returned home, Ethan asked if we could meet for coffee. Not at our parents' house. Not at a family gathering. Just the 2 of us. When I arrived, he was already waiting. The first thing he did was stand up. I'm sorry. No excuses. No blaming Chloe. No blaming wedding stress. Just 2 honest words. I should have treated you like my sister instead of someone who had to earn an invitation. I smiled gently. I never wanted the wedding. He looked confused. I wanted respect. He nodded slowly. I know that now. A week later, Mom and Dad invited me to dinner. For the first time in years, they listened more than they spoke. Mom quietly admitted she'd confused keeping the peace with asking one person to carry all the discomfort. Dad apologized for telling me to stay silent simply because it seemed easier. No one expected everything to be perfect overnight. Trust doesn't rebuild itself in a single conversation. It grows through consistent actions. Over the following months, our family slowly changed. Requests replaced assumptions. Conversations replaced demands. Respect replaced conditions. As for me, I kept traveling. I invested in experiences I'd postponed for years while trying to make everyone else happy. And every time I looked back at that wedding invitation, I no longer felt hurt. I felt grateful. Because those 5 conditions taught me something I should have learned long before. Real love never asks you to surrender your dignity to prove your loyalty. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give the people you love isn't another sacrifice. It's showing them, quietly, respectfully, and without bitterness, that relationships built on mutual respect will always last longer than those built on control.